Hola Lorenzo, ¿cómo estás? Muchísimas gracias por tu tiempo. Mi primera pregunta sería, podemos ver que esta película tiene un estilo muy similar a Transformers y a Rápidos y Furiosos. ¿Podríamos decir que esto es intencional o esto vendría siendo ya como la marca registrada de Paramount?
I don't think Paramount has a trademark style. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's a whole bunch of individual filmmakers making films. Fast and the Furious. I guess you could make the analogy because of the car races, but honestly, I find the visual effects from Fast and the Furious they look really fake to me. So I hope that these visual effects didn't look fake to the questionnaire because it's part of one of my something I really care about is that the integration of visual effects and live action is more seamless than I see in a lot of movies, and particularly since Fast and the Furious was brought up, I would pick on them because they don't seem to care about the reality of it. It hasn't hurt their success, but for me, I think it's really important, to be as real as we can.
Ok, mi siguiente pregunta sería, pudimos ver que el cast de esta película es increíble. Me gustaría conocer cómo fue este proceso para conseguir a los actores que interpretarían a cada uno de los personajes.
Well, you always try to find the movie star first. The I think in many ways, obviously, um, the bad guy in this case was had to be so complex because you really do understand his feelings. The idea that he states the notion that has if nothing is finite, nothing has any meaning. I relate to that a lot, and so that was the second most important character I think was because he had to be able to articulate the kind of specialness of that thought, and yet be willing to destroy the world for his own benefit, if you would. So Chiwetel was the second actor we went after. I had done his first American Hollywood movie, which was Four Brothers, where he played a fantastic villain. And I also had done Salt with him, where he played a guy who ends up being an ally, who you think is not going to be, who's going to be an antagonist to Angelina Jolie's character. Um, I think from my perspective, each character, you can really sink a movie if you cast the wrong character, no matter what level of significance they are. I mean, obviously, the more significant they are in the movie, uh, the more impact they can have. But it was tricky to hire the artisan. Jason Mantzoukas is, an unlikely person to show up in an action picture, but we wanted a guy who um, was off the wall and crazy, but also sort of made sense in his craziness. And so, he had to have an intelligence. So each character, we really go through what is the qualities we're looking for them. We were talking about Liz Carr before. We wanted the audience to feel that that character was as knowing as possible, and at the same time, um, as evolved from an ego point of view. And so that's what we were looking for in the actress. And what's interesting sometimes is a character can be written as a male or can be written as a female, and then as you go through the process, you start to have a hard time finding the right actor. And you go, well, maybe this is are we making a mistake? Does gender have something to do with it? Does upbringing have something to do with it? Right now we're making for Paramount Plus for everybody. We're making the prequel to Pet Cemetery, and um, there are going to be three Native American characters in it, and how do you cast them? And I don't have a lot of experience uh, in the actor pool that represents. So now you got to search out, find the actors, who are they, and then who's right. So I think, from on this case, you spend a lot of time on each character.
Bueno, muchas gracias Lorenzo por tu tiempo y por haber respondido a nuestras preguntas.
Appreciate everybody here taking the time to talk to me. Thank you.